Look at all those mushrooms. This is an arrangement I put together at a farmer's market, and setting something up like this might look a little bit intimidating or pretty intense, but I'll tell you what, I would do this every Saturday, and it only took me about 15 or 20 minutes to set up an arrangement like this. And it was well worth it, so we're going to go over that today. We're going to talk about some of the organizational and preparational skills and things you can do to get through a market like this. How's everyone doing today? Mike here. I've got a great video for you guys. So today we're going to talk about preparation and organization for the farmer's market. My stand at the farmer's market, it was cool, right? So there's a lot to put together something like that, obviously. But if you organize yourself and you prepare, you can do it fairly easily. And I'll tell you, man, a guy like me, I am controlled chaos at best. So I need things to like keep myself in line and just organize at the farmers markets or events and stuff like that. And that's even why I just even chose to do like one per week. Like in St. Louis, where I was originally from, I would do the largest one in the area, and I would just go to the one Saturday morning, and that was it. And so basically it was do or die for me, man, to make the cash I could, because it was my main source of income. And if I failed to prepare, or I messed up, or if I forgot something, it was detrimental to me for the whole week, all right? Because it was my main source of my income. So one thing I did to keep me from forgetting stuff, which was a tote. This was like Mike's safety tote. So I could not mess up the farmer's market, all right? And I have like my essential items in here. And I'll explain what I did. I had literally like my essential items that I needed to get by, plus my mushrooms, because I'm a mushroom farmer. And I would sell a lot of fresh mushrooms. I also had grow kits. I'd have tinctures and extracts. And I just want to say, for things like that, you can have their own little tote, like something like shelf-stable products, you know, that can be just kept at room temperature in a cupboard or something like that. Those are great because you can just put them in a tote, store them away, and then grab that tote when you're ready to go to the market, whenever you go. So anyway, let's open this thing up. Let's see what I got. Now, first, I just want to say my farmer's market had built-in tables, so I didn't have to worry about bringing tables or a tent. That was already there. It was like a pole barn. But I would still forget tablecloths. So I always put tablecloths in my tote. And I did that just so I could lay them out on the table. You got a nice clean setup then. So and that was the first thing. That would be the very first thing I would put on the table. The next thing, the cash box would go on top of it. And that would be used to weigh down the tablecloths, okay? Like if it's windy or stuff's blowing around, that can weigh down the tablecloths, so that would help me. Also, talking about wind and cash boxes, for many years, I just used my wallet at the farmer's market because I'm the type of dude, as many of you know, I'm a pretty like simple dude, and I try to just get by with the least. And I would stretch it to the limit, man. I'm pretty frugal about what I'll spend my money on. So let me just tell you, I think it was my first and my second year at the farmer's market, I didn't even have a cash box. I didn't want to spend money on the cash box. I was like, why do I need a cash box when I have a wallet? Okay, well, I'll tell you why. Because there'll be a time, and this happened to me, it was towards the end of the day, I had sold most of my items. It was really windy. A windstorm had actually come in. I was giving change to a customer, and I had my wallet out. All of my cash blew out of my wallet. I'm serious. All of it blew out, hundreds of dollars. Many people around hurried up, and they were catching the flying money. And they all gathered it up for me, man, and everyone returned it because I actually had just counted it before that had happened to me, so I knew what I had in there. And I actually got the exact same amount back. So, like, I was super grateful for everybody that helped me that day. But after that day, Mike got a cash box. So get a cash box. It's essential. I would definitely consider it essential. And then plus, if you have change in it or something like that too, and you're the type of person that forgets change or you need it that morning of, remember to load it up that night before, whenever the week before, so you have it ready, and you can just keep your change in there too. Now, next thing, clamshells. Now this is really funny, guys. I made a previous video about this. These clamshells right here, I thought I threw them out, but I guess I didn't. These are the original clamshells I got when I started farming mushrooms. So I've had these things like 7 or 8 years, and I've been reusing them, recycling them every single farmer's market. I bought clamshells once as a mushroom farmer, and I've never bought them again. So I guess I'm going to use these again. I'm just going to do it. So thought that was cool, but I always had my clamshells with me. So then my next thing, I would lay all them clamshells out on the table, and I'd start putting mushrooms in them, especially if it's windy. That way it'll keep your clamshells from blowing around and getting away on you. Now, another vital piece of equipment. You know what these are? Signage, man. And I got the camera. It's going to show this reverse because it's like flipped or whatever. But lion's mane mushroom. And I would also bundle it. You know what I mean? I talked about that in a previous video. In the Crushing It at the Farmer's Market series. If you have not subscribed to the channel and you guys are into this like farming and mushroom type of stuff, make sure you click that subscribe button right now so you can see more videos like this in the future. But I've done many videos on farmers markets and just being successful at a farmer's market as a farmer, because it is tricky, especially if you've never done them before. And I've been doing them for years, so I can definitely help you guys out. And you got to make sure you make it as a farmer. It's tough enough anyway, so got to do as good as we can. But signs like this are great for a myriad of reasons. You just allow me to explain. For one, do you see how they're shaped? So they all go together really easy. So they store away easy, and then when you go to pick them up at the end of the market, you can just put them all together real quick, boom, put them back in the tote. It makes things super fast and it saves space. I got those on Amazon really cheap, and I like everything about them. They're just clear, easy, and I've made it clear, easy to read, and like I said, it all fits together. Now, those are little ones, but I have big ones too. Those were typically for my fresh mushrooms and like extracts, stuff like this. Most of my bigger signs were more like instructional signs, like these. This is like how to do a mushroom grow kit. I would put those out on my stand. I even had ones like meet our mushrooms. These were like all the hericiums I sold, like lion's mane, coral tooth, bear's head. This was the retail shop I used to own. I put like the address on there and that kind of stuff. Grow kit signage, all sorts of stuff. So, and I even had, just to show you guys how many of these signs I have, these little ones, that I would bring these with me all the time. I didn't use all of them all the time. I'd use some of them for certain situations, like I might have had specific prices or offered deals on certain days of certain items. But yeah, so I had a lot of choices I could make as far as setting my stand up. But what I did is I'd always make it like simple enough, you know. And this was like my lifeline, and that's all I got in the tote. That's all I would need. Like when I would go to the farmer's market, I would just need a tote like this with the signage, tablecloths, cash box, and clamshells, and that was really it. And other than that, I didn't need anything other than my mushrooms or whatever products I was selling or had to offer, just to keep things really simple for me. And that way, I could put this even in the car or the truck the night before, because like there's nothing in there that'll go bad. So then all you have to do then the next day, you just have to load up your items that might be perishable, or they're not shelf stable or whatever, like something like a fresh product like mushrooms or produce, you know. But that makes things super simple for you. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. I'm like really stoked to start doing the farmers markets here. Now I will say, like back in St. Louis, the one I used to do, Sealar Farmers Market, it was like a big pole barn type of setup. There's nothing like that out here really, like a giant one like that, because I'm on the, I almost said the West Coast. I'm on the western slope of Colorado, the west side of Colorado. And honestly, even to my knowledge, even in like on the Front Range, even in Denver, there's nothing like Sealar Farmers Market. Sealar Farmers Market is like one of a kind. So I don't even have anything like that available to me anymore. So I need to do smaller markets around here, and I'll be selling more to chefs and stuff like that, you know. But here I'll be popping up like a tent every time when I go out to one. And that, so even stuff like that, like now that I have to keep a tent on my mind, I got to remember I bring it or always have it loaded up. Things like this to keep me organized is going to be essential. But I am super pumped to like do this next season of farmers markets, just because there's so many here. And in the area that I was at before, I just focused on that one large one because that was the only one that really made sense. But there's a few of them here that'll be pretty good for me to go to, and there's nice little towns. And I honestly want to kind of explore these different areas and try some of these different markets. I have my sights on a few of them for sure that I know I like must attend. But then there's a few other ones that I'm like, I might try that one. We'll think about it. But anyway, that's all I really got for you today, guys. If you liked this video, make sure you drop it a like, if you found it helpful and informative. If you have any questions or like ways you like to set up your stand at the farmer's market, or just when you go to the farmer's market, if you're stressed out in the morning, let me know how it is. Because I know for me, it can be hectic because I forget stuff. But if you're organized, it doesn't make it too bad. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that because I've got all sorts of cool mushroom and farming videos coming up. I'm getting ready to put my grow rooms together here at the new farm, so you guys can see some grow rooms built. But hey, that's all I got for you on this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.